Welcome to the Anti-Noise Experience podcast, Endurance Noise, Random Musings. Friday, September 18, 2020. Out pretty late. It's already 6:30 almost. Fitbit says I only slept less than 3 hours. Basically woke up at 2 a.m. and then just tossed and turned per usual. But I've been getting some good sleep earlier this week. So I don't know what's up with that. But I'm out. I am weasel-less. She told me last night she wasn't coming out, so I'm just going off, doing my 48-minute walk. Might wonder how walks are determined, and kind of go with the Jack Daniels. He had this chart with a 24-week schedule, and he would have 60%, 70% week, 80% week, 90% week, how much you were planning on, doing that week. So I kind of adapted that, and so this was a taper week, so your mileage should have been to about 60% of whatever the max was going to be. And back in the day, my max was 100 a week. I did that for 9 years until last year. But I kind of go, 8-minute mile is, kind of a standard for many people. So I figure 60%, 6 times 8, 48. And so on a big week, a base week that's 100% week, I'll do an 80-minute workout. Now I used to do 6 mile or 10 mile on those days, but that was a bit excessive. So trying to have a little bit more quality than quantity. So I'm heading out to the bike path, walking past the alleys and whatnot I've always been doing for years and years and years. Kind of bummed that I'm not going to the 24-hour 100-mile race up north. But you can see the skies here are still pretty smoke-filled, and it's supposed to get worse later this week. And you can hear in my voice the smoke effects. So it's good that I'm being smart, following my first rule of stay healthy, be boring, not epic. So I kind of tapered for no reason. There is no race. I think tomorrow, though, we are going to go hike around Wind Wolves Preserve and at least get some miles in somewhere different than the usual. And then we're all going to go do the race with the burros up in Inyo Kern near Ridgecrest. We'll be doing the 10 mile, I think, without a burro. Some people would say I'm the jackass, so that should be fun. So as always, stay healthy, be boring. Finished up my 48-minute walk pretty strongly by the skateboard park. I helped get the skate park built a number of years ago because that building over there was sold and the money had to go towards improvements here at Beach Park. And so I got this park built, and now we have many more parks in town. Really nice. Follow research and top coaches around the world. You'll hear about basically the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time your training should be easy, 20% harder. And so after these easy days, you should do some stride outs, do a little leg turnover. And so what I do today, I just did a 48-minute walk fairly quickly, but it was still definitely an easy day, recovery day, which are very important towards your training. It's good to get some speed. And the best way for me to get it is I just kind of call it my odd rule. And now I'm walking home. And so I'm usually 10, 15 minutes away from my house. So every time my watch is an odd number, like soon 3, I just pick up the pace a bit. And because you always should be working on your cadence and form, I will just do this. And I'll just count one leg and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 29, 30. Now you all know I can count to 30. But what it is the ideal cadence when you're running and cycling even is about 90 RPMs a minute. And so when I do those 30 steps, normally I look at my watch and I want to see about 20 seconds go by. And always pick up the cadence because you want to have quicker turnover. With quicker turnover, it means you're landing with your feet under your center of gravity. You're not overstriding, and that's good. It's kind of just sneaky speed work but you're not doing it to completely trash yourself. You're just doing it to create better form and muscle memory to go a little faster. So, I was walking a little under 17 this morning, and then doing this a little fast, 30 seconds, 20 seconds actually. I probably was under 15-minute pace, which ideally is where I want to race, because my goal someday is to go sub 3 in a half marathon. I know it's tough after a workout, especially if you got a hectic life with work, family, school, to sit back and kind of just review and see what happened during that workout. So today I'm out here in the backyard. I try and get back early before I go off door dashing at 8:30 and just spend some time out here with the dogs. Got Mr. Moo sitting here, and Molly the pug, and Milo the mutt. And so I just kind of look back and see what I did. And so here is my Strava. Got 42.6 miles so far this week. This morning run here, that was basically that cool down when I walked back from my house. I was doing the little stride outs on the odd minutes. So I did a few little stride outs, then hit my 7-Eleven to grab a Diet Dr. Pepper for 69 cents. But here's the main workout I did, called No 48, 2.73 miles, 17:32 pace. Not bad for walking, especially after a hard week. Monday through Thursday, I kind of do some harder work in the morning, and then, of course, with the Biggest Resistance Project in the evening. And so Fridays are always kind of my off day. I've been racing since 79, so Fridays, often racing on Saturdays. So Fridays always mentally are just kind of an off day for me. And so that's kind of what happened last night. As you can see, I had to walk back home from run camp, and I ended up doing a run walk, which was pretty slow. We did 5 times 5 minutes with a 1-minute recovery, and it was only barely under 16 minutes. So I'm back again, the Englishman and the Viking. Do I run? Do I walk? Really need to just stick to walking, I believe. One of the things that's very helpful, especially this morning since Blanca took the day off, is to have something to listen to. Usually what I do, like today I did a 48-minute walk. The first 24 minutes I'll listen to a podcast. And so this morning was listening to, I had Rachel Maddow on 538, and I was listening to Tour de France. They're talking about the coverage yesterday and how that Roglic has basically now got the race wrapped up. And so the first 24 minutes I listened to a podcast, and then I listened to Techno, and it's Perfecto. Here it's Planet Perfecto. I've been walking to trance music, techno, whatever you call EDM, for quite some time. Above and Beyond is another one I listen to. I don't have any shows that are saved yet. I've listened to them all. But I find I can't walk to rock music. The 4/4 beat is just too distracting. I know some of you are out there walking to the Beatles or running to the Beatles and Led Zeppelin, but I don't know how you do it. So often I dance to a lot of hip-hop, R&B type of stuff. But you kind of run out of that, and I find that lyrics can be distracting at times, and then a bad song comes on. Even though on my Spotify, I think you can follow my Noise Cruise Spotify list, I have over 7,000 songs, because if you didn't know, I owned a record store for almost 20 years. So I have to have something playing, because for 20 years I was listening to music all day, all night. And you'll see that if you know me, I often have musical references, bits of lyrics coming out of my mouth constantly. Milo, it's okay, baby. I'm not picking you up. So I listen to Planet Perfecto, and late at night, if you see me in an ultra, I'm usually listening to that or Above and Beyond. Then some of the other handy things, Training Peaks, highly recommend using this. And I'm kind of doing these podcast videos to show you how to kind of interpret the data and look at it. So I scheduled a 48-minute walk, and it turns it green because I did it 48 minutes. 2.73 miles, I usually only do 2.5 miles, so moving a little faster. Average pace, planned pace, planned pace. I don't know why they got that figured out. So that's there. Didn't hit any Training Peaks, top 20 times. But you can see my fatigue's 112, fitness is 122, form is 0. Those aren't good numbers if I was doing my 100-mile race tomorrow. But since I decided on Wednesday not to go, I didn't back off on the training. If you'd like to have a premium Training Peaks, you can pay $20 a month through Training Peaks, or get one for $13.10 from me on my Patreon page. And, I'll keep an eye on you, too, if you so desire on that. So there's Training Peaks, Overcast, did the Strava. Really like Fitbit, I often have people say, Andy, I need to get back in shape. I want to do this, that, and other thing. And I'll say, well, get a Fitbit. It's great. It measures, your sleep and all this data. And then people will say, oh, well, I do have a Fitbit. And then I look at their arms and I don't see any Fitbit. And I know immediately they're not serious. And I'll even scold them going, don't even bother talking to me until you've got a Fitbit and you're wearing it and using it. There's no excuse not to wear it. They're lightweight, they're small, the battery life is great. You can get them waterproof. And so I like mine. Click on here. I like the resting heart rate past 30 days. Been definitely down in the 55 range, which is good. That's kind of my norm. If you look on here for the year, as I keep showing this, I'm actually doing a little better than I was. I'm back to before I fell. You can see there in April is where it was up to 78, 80, because that's right before I went in for congestive heart failure. So it's good to have here. Then you also have the sleep. I did sleep a little better than I thought. I only had that 256, but then I went back to sleep at 4:30 and got up at 6:15, got out the door late, and it's good to see that. And then, of course, I like how it figures out your exercise. And it's pretty dang accurate. It auto starts, and it says I walked an hour and 6 minutes, and it's basically what I did. Yesterday, it shows me running for 29 minutes. Auto detect works really good on Fitbit. Get a Fitbit, use it. People say, well, I got an Apple Watch. And I'm like, Apple Watches are toys. Fitbits are tools. So, and there's DoorDash telling me I'm working in 30 minutes. So that's that there. And then lastly, to link all this stuff up, Fitbit, of course, doesn't work with Garmin, but Garmin hooks up with Strava and Training Peaks. And here again shows my workouts that I did. If you look at my walk this morning, and I don't bother calling it a walk, my fast pace was 15:58, average pace was 17:35. I split the workout in so that you can see the first 24 minutes, 18 pace. Last 24 minutes, 16:55, picked it up a bit, and you can see that. I always like to kind of work my way into workout, especially when I wake up in the morning, I'm pretty beat up and tired, and you can see that I slowly kind of picked up the pace. Training effect was aerobic, which is where I wanted to be. Cadence started off 125 average, max 147. It's something I need to work on because with running, you should be doing 90 steps a minute, and you want to go faster, you lean forward and extend your stride. With walking, you keep the same stride length and you pick up your cadence, and it's something I really got to work on. And you can see here the zones. I definitely stayed where I belonged in the zones. And so that is, and then it's kind of cool. They've got, productivity, your heart rate, like I'm sitting right now, body battery, stress. I'm definitely in the rest level there. Intensity of minutes, steps. They try and do 21,000 a day is what they got me down. And then I like down here where it has the last 7 days, 57 miles, and average resting heart rate. Now that one's way off because I only wear this Garmin 245 when I'm training, and then I take it off. So that's some stats and numbers, and if you're serious about your training or just about your health, you should keep track of this because your memory's terrible, but having cold, hard data works out fine. So as always, stay healthy, be boring, not epic.